and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Yikes, Adventures in Adulting and Being Mad at It. I'm Mike Suarez.
I'm Misha.
I'm Katharyn.
Doesn't want to give her last name because you people will put her in a basement and make her eat food off the floor. So when he does it when it's her choice.
Do me a favor.
We are talking about not being good at being adults, all the problems and expectations that come with that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when you're younger, there's a lot of stuff you get told not to do. You try it as an adult. Like you ever eat in bed?
Eat in bed?
Yeah,
Once a week at least.
yeah.
No, I don't. At all.
You never have.
I dated a girl that made me take off my jeans before sting on the bed, so we would definitely not
the
eat
same
in
thing
bed.
at all.
I take off my clothes before I get into my bed
And
to
then
eat in it.
I mean, I'll eat in whatever I want to sleep in. Yeah. So
Okay.
and it's
I
a
sleep
terrible
in the
idea.
nude. You sleep in things?
Yeah.
Do you sleep in
I have
things?
roommates that I have to walk in front of. They don't need to see this shit.
I go through my hall naked. I
It's-
take a risk every day.
It's your house, your rules.
It is my
new to this
house.
one.
I'll walk around in underwear, but I'll always have at least that on.
Yeah.
You don't sleep naked?
I don't, because you never know what's gonna fucking happen. Could be a fire. You gotta run out. You never know.
You just throw something on.
You don't have time for that shit. You are living on the edge, ma'am.
I
gonna-
eat floor pizza.
You're gonna be out there naked and not afraid because you don't get scared
She's not
easily.
afraid.
But just
Not afraid
you
of anything.
just
Not
you
afraid
and
of
a-
germs. Not
and a-
afraid of
and a dog who's embarrassed
diseases.
for you. Just like I gotta be seen with her. Yeah, she got the leash but no underwear. I don't know what's going on there. So, but it's when you eat in your bed, it's usually always a problem later. There's always some kind of crumb situation going
I
on.
hate
after.
crumbs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I mean about being bad at being an adult. Like, we know not to do dumb shit like that, and somehow we still fucking do it. You're no better. You shave your feet at work. I don't mean
I do.
hobbit hair. I mean he shaves the skin off like he's
Oh, God, I forgot about.
just dumb things like that, and you have no qualms about it, which is fine. Live your life.
Yeah, I like that you think that's okay, but I can't eat pizza off the ground.
I'm
That's
not
why you don't eat
putting
pizza off the ground.
Anything.
Misha's foot dandruff is everywhere.
No,
It's out
damn
there
it.
in the world.
You ate some of my foot, Chandriff.
You wish.
How did you see into my head like that? That was very weird.
He didn't want it, but now he does. So.
You know, Misha used to have long hair.
Oh yeah, I used to have a mullet,
A mullet.
Yeah, he showed
Not
me
just
a
long
picture.
hair, but a mullet.
like hair down to
Speaking
my
of being
tits.
bad
He
at adult.
showed me
Wait, a mullet is short in front, long
Yes,
back.
yes. He
So you had
actually
Def Leppard hair.
we had the same haircut. Have you ever seen the photo of me with the mullet?
No.
Oh my God, we were both significantly
Did you see
hotter
how
with these
quickly it went to her,
haircuts.
though? That was literally.
No, but we both were
both
hotter.
had-
Like
yeah.
he should do that with his hair. Right now, he looks just like a dweeby, little sniveling.
It's a lot of words.
Your
that
adjectives
don't,
are so
that don't
rude.
describe hair.
But
Look
he
at
kind
this,
of.
his lip-dicked, fucking bad driving. Like, what are you doing? That's not hair.
Sniveling?
Nibbling.
I've only used that. I heard that word used to describe Snape.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Harry Potter villained you.
But with the long
People
hair,
like Snape though. Like people want to fuck Snape, and it's like
they
a
want to
weird.
fuck it.
Oh yeah, there's like a weird contingent on
People
the
like
internet.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah, people do, like, even from the book, though, there's people who want to fuck Snape. There's damaged women and men who want
That
to
does explain who I date. So
Good reason I never read Harry
want
Potter.
to be his Horcrux. Anyway,
Horcrux. I like that.
thank you.
It's a fun wordplay.
But Misha looked kind of like a rock star with his hair like that.
Did
I
he?
think you should revert back to
I
who
had
you
to
once
cut
were.
my hair because I had office jobs, and if I wasn't working,
I know
then
people who had long hair and work in offices.
Well, when I was applying, it looked really bad. Like it was really tough for me. I applied for like a barista role, and they wouldn't. And I'm pretty sure they didn't hire me because my hair was so long.
Okay, but now it's
No, it's 'cause you're Asian.
2019. You people,
They were racist. That's all.
They were like, "You're not qualified to make coffee." I was like,
How long ago was all that?
That was in 2013. Once I graduated from college.
I feel like times have changed. He's a little older.
Yeah.
They
Were you in the
let
city?
you.
I was in Boston.
Oh, that's because
Well,
you
there
were
you
Asian.
go, because you were in Boston.
Yeah, that was just like, oh no, thank you.
That was your problem.
They were pretty racist.
Once I cut my hair, though, I got jobs.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
You look safe to
but
them.
you could like tie, and I don't like totally condone this, but people like if you need to look professional, you just tie it back for
Do
the interview.
Ponytail.
You should have just
Yeah,
made yourself
just-
a samurai top knot just to make them seem more racist.
Yeah, and just exactly.
This is my culture.
Make it your culture.
Okay.
Lie. You're good at that. You know.
I'm actually pretty bad at lying.
Incidentally, I am too.
I'm really good at.
Or you're both
Not-
being really good at it right now.
I'm really good at avoiding telling the truth. Like I'll talk around something, but I'm not very good at lying straight up.
I sometimes, if I even feel like I'm lying and I'm telling the truth, it seems like I'm lying. Like I'm very bad at lying. I'll just tell you.
My problem
You know.
is even if I'm telling the truth, but I think the other person thinks I'm lying.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where I get like, ugh, I just feel weird. Like this
Yeah.
sounds like a lie, but it's not. So I get a little
But-
jittery.
I'm really good at keeping secrets. I kind of get off on keeping secrets.
Oh,
No, it's sort of fun. Like I have this arsenal of information about all these people, but I just keep it to myself, and I kind of love it.
Do you write it down, or is it all in your
No,
head?
it's all in my head. Remember, I just learned that I need to write my jokes down, so of course the secrets are all in my head too.
She's got a file, like an X Files folder.
I do.
like how you like this weird Frank Herbert character. It's all in my head. All the secrets of the universe.
Yes, so I think that's cool. But lying, like I'll just tell you, that's it. I couldn't even lie. I got drunk recently, and I was relating.
This is a different time than the last time.
Yeah,
So-
I know. God damn it. All the stories begin with. So I got drunk. But I got drunk, and I had been sort of having a conflicting relationship with a comic who also seemed to rub a lot of other comics the wrong way. And for whatever reason, they would tell me. And so I got drunk specifically to be like, look, you're about to ruin your own fucking career by being unlikable. So why don't you change your
What's the
behavior?
first letter of their name?
Will she lie? Will she just not tell the truth?
I feel like you do know who this is.
Okay. All right.
S.
All right.
Just there was no pressure. She just
Because this
under
isn't
the
it. This
cut.
isn't.
What
That's
if she
not
just said M and it's me?
Misha.
and you don't remember the conversation.
But I mean, this isn't like a secret. Like I didn't, because he was like, oh, what, who said that about me? I was like, honestly, too many to name. I'm not gonna tell you. Like but I'm like, I'm letting you know that I cannot go on pretending to be your friend until you change your behavior because it's bad.
It's fucked
That
up that I
happens.
know who this is about, and I still think it's about me.
Well, I mean, that line just fucks you up in general. And
Yeah.
That's what they hammer that home to you as a child, as you're growing up. Every Sesame Street, every Mr. Rock. Like, tell the
Yeah.
truth. It's important. They don't. Here's why it doesn't really sink in, because they don't tell you how it really fucks you up. They don't tell you like, look, it's just more trouble than it's worth. If they were just honest with kids, they're like, look, you can lie, but it's just gonna come back and make it worse. That would be way better. If Bidberg was like, look, don't lie, because then you gotta fucking apologize to a bunch of people.
And then you got to come up
And
with
you gotta
another
remember the
lie, and
lie.
then another lie just to feed that lie, and
And
know,
you
it's
end
a
up like
big-
Bill Cosby. It's crazy.
it's a,
My problem is I drink too much to remember the lies I tell, so I just have to tell the truth because otherwise I'm never going to keep my story straight. Like it's just
He's not even Asian. He's been a Mexican lady this whole time, just trying to look tired.
just keep one lie. I'll have like one lie going at a time, and I'll just remember that lie, and everything else has to fit under that.
that umbrella of lie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's kind of like, well, I got sent away to this place, but I learned something there, and I just got into our topic by ourselves. I was like, Misha, lead me into my topic. But the idea was like, at least this is what I did when I got back with my mom, was I lied more and I lied better.
Oh,
So it was like
it was like a training class.
It
We
was
got
like-
to restart from the beginning though.
everything became a lie.
So we're going into this.
You were the clunkiest
Thanks, Dad.
transition.
I
into-
know, right?
We are about to start a story.
You ran away from home. I heard you ran away from home. I'm gonna-
I heard.
Yeah, see, the way I was subtly getting into it, it makes us like, thing, talk, lady, words.
I ran away from home.
Well, what happened? Recently? What happened to your dog?
Yeah, I ran away. Yeah, I did. I ran away from home to come here today.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 15.
Okay, and this was in.
This was in California.
Okay.
Yeah, I had an Ambien prescription and I'd been abusing it all night, and my mom got upset. This is a pretty standard procedure. She would get upset, then she'd call the police, and the police would come, and then they tell me I need to listen to my mom. Yeah, it
What
was.
city was this?
Were you on a first name basis with any of the cops?
It started. It felt like it was getting there.
I know, Carl.
It's like, thank you. Like, this was in Sacramento.
Okay.
And
Is that a shitty city or a good city? I've never been.
I don't care for it.
Okay. But
It's-
like,
it's not for me.
what I mean is like, when I say shitty, like, I mean like Albany, or is it like?
It's not like all. I mean, I don't know.
Lincoln?
Some people seem to like it. I fucking don't
Okay.
like it. I mean, I don't know
So
why.
it's not a
anyone
bad
wanna
city.
live
It's just not
there.
a fun city.
I feel like it's like a training city.
Yeah. So I mean,
You know, it's like a training wheel, and I'm like, ugh.
It's a place where 15-year-olds can abuse Ambien. So
Yeah,
it's
I'm-
that
I'm
level.
just sort of like-
crime's not that bad per se. You
I
can
mean,
walk the
I
street,
get.
but
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just sort of like how I feel about Sacramento is everybody's like, "Ooh, this thing is happening here," and I'm like, "You're in Sacramento, California. Nothing's
Exactly.
happening here."
Exactly.
With that said, like a few of my favorite bands have come out of Sacramento, so
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
they leave.
They
So,
leave.
yeah.
They do leave.
Everything good left. Good.
Right.
I know what you
So, like the Cramps, you
Yeah.
know, started in Sacramento. Great.
I thought she was
Very
going
great.
to talk about being 15. Having
That's
cramps.
when cramps.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I get
all
it.
right.
That wasn't very. If you hadn't,
Can we kick Misha off the
just let
podcast?
it. You don't have to explain the joke. We were there.
Oh,
Let the people at
No
home
one
absorb it.
laughed, is what I know from then.
We were just moving forward. It was fine.
All right.
He was just trying to
Cramps.
gloss right over it, you know?
I got it.
okay.
It wasn't that bad.
Can we gloss over this?
We're glossing.
Glossy.
Um,
You gotta learn to gloss. Anyway, so you were 15.
yeah, so she got, and I have a tumultuous relationship with my brother who's 20 years older than me. So that day he called and he was like, "Your life, I'm going to come there this weekend and your life is going to become extremely uncomfortable." And I had wanted to go to Disneyland with a friend who was much older than me. She was like 18 and I was
15.
15. She might have been 19 now at this point, but
I don't
and it
think it's
doesn't matter.
old now, but like then it's such a different world.
Yeah, it's a totally different world. You know what I mean? Like I was a freshman when she was a senior, so I was
Yeah.
like sitting at the senior table when I was a freshman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like to you, I'm like, oh, this is the best.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I wanted to go to Disneyland. My mom was like, absolutely not. I had actually done this horrible thing in like MS Paint where I made a cartoon of my mom coming home from work and me hiding in the bushes. Now, when I say cartoon, it's like the people looked like Pac-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I was just like a
stick
big
figure.
head, you
Yeah.
know? But like I ended up having a gun in the cartoon and making my mom suck my dick. Okay. And then I went to Disneyland. So,
Like a comic strip? type of
yes.
thing?
Yes. Correct.
So first panel, mom's getting home.
And
you're
I'm
in the bushes.
hiding in the bushes.
You jump out, suck my dick, mom, and mom's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, why? I just want
Yeah.
you to be good."
And then I go to Disneyland and
To
eat
completion
donuts.
in the thing, or
I don't remember coming.
In the cartoon.
In the cartoon. So like I was like
How many
then wait,
panels was it?
wait.
like 4
And then you went to Disneyland with donuts in the cartoon, or in real
in the
life?
cartoon.
And so fourth panel, Disneyland.
I was at Disneyland with donuts.
Disneyland, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride with donuts.
You really cut to the chase in that
Eating
story.
donuts with 2 people I met from the internet.
Yeah. They were much older than you.
Of course.
Man,
Because I actually
your
never
15 was way different from my 15.
I never gave my age on the internet. I just refused because I thought to myself, if I'm, you know, talking shit in these chat rooms or whatever, no one will take me seriously if I'm 15. Also, I don't want to be, you know, have a predator coming
To
after
be
me.
fair, they should not have taken you seriously at 15. You
Fine.
just drew a comic about your mom sucking your dick. and then
I
going
know
to
what I
Disneyland.
did, Misha.
Okay.
And so, but I also didn't want to, you know,
So
I
let's-
can't think of the
let's
word right now.
Start here. We may have to do this in 2 episodes, but you met them on a chat room.
okay, so I was like deep into the internet and LiveJournal. Do you remember?
I remember LiveJournal. Russians
So-
took it over, but yeah,
What took it over?
Russians bought it, and you
Oh,
should take
yeah.
your information off of there.
I'm
That's for the
yeah,
people.
mine was deleted and purged because I broke the rules
Yeah, good.
one
good
too
for
many
you.
times. I know, but I had so much writing on there. So I'll put it this way. I started to become like a little bit of a thing on LiveJournal.
Your old
You were a
alt-right
thing on
personality.
LiveJournal?
Yeah, you can. My old name is like on Urban Dictionary. I think still.
What was it?
UCOCKJoB.
UCOCKJoB.
I was so horrible on the internet too. I was mean. I told people, like, especially in this
When you
day
say
and age.
mean, do you mean go back
I told
to your
people to
country,
kill
or-
themselves
Oh.
on the regular. No, but I mean, like, what is like definitely like not okay in our culture
But
now.
that happened a lot back then.
I know, because the internet was the wild, wild west.
Yeah, you could just tell, hey, go kill yourself.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but I would
Nobody
like.
did it until like 8 years ago.
Right, exactly.
for everybody.
I know, and so, but I was like vicious. Like, so I was in like, a lot of different like groups on LiveJournal. I had, for being the internet as it were then. I mean, like, I was still building it, but I had like 500, people following me, and like back then, that's like, oh my
Would've gone up,
god,
but they kept killing
Yeah.
themselves.
they kept
The numbers
doing what I
stayed
told
stable.
them to.
She kept getting new followers, kept losing them.
Culling the week.
That was
For
her
my-
second live
my
journal
calls.
blog.
You were the world's immune system.
Yeah, so I was horribly mean, but like people really like I would update, like once a week. I'd put photos. So I like had pictures of me there, but I also, whatever. So I was gaining fans. Like people would even send me, oh, I put my address out there. I got fan mail. I wanted to buy iPods. I had people sending me money.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You put your address out there?
Yeah, I have
This was before Patreon.
I had letters from people, like pictures. I was like just at my mom's house cleaning out.
You were Come Town before Come Town, is what you're saying. Like
If
you had,
I had not been deleted, I would be famous now.
if you had the resources that are around today, you would be famous. You would have your own TV
Yeah.
show on Vice.
I mean, I was like,
She'd be a SoundCloud rapper.
you'd be a pundit.
yeah, it's
You
kind of
cock
weird
job.
because I was like.
Yeah.
People like one sent me this like AIM chat they had. They were like, oh, UCOCKJoB just updated. She's like, oh my god, I'm reading that. Like I was like, people liked what I did. I don't know. Like I just found.
That's awesome.
This is what's crazy. I was just visiting my mom and I was going through some boxes and I found some of these letters and I was like, whatever. But I found one where like I have no idea who this person was. I read it. He was apparently like on an army like training base because it has like the official thing. He wrote me this whole letter. I don't remember what his name is. I'll get it next time I'm home. I'm going home and I can bring it and read it because I was like, who the fuck is this? Because also I have like no love in my life right now, and I'm like, maybe he's hot. Like maybe.
This letter from how long ago was this letter? 12 years ago.
Like 16.
16 years ago.
Right?
But he could just be 2 years older than you.
Since 2003.
I mean, he could. I don't know
like
who he
18
is.
in the
So-
army.
Yeah, I
So
have
this
no.
was 2003. This was when, like you said, iPods, not even iPhones.
Yeah, like the iPod had just come out.
Yeah.
In fact,
You had the dial-it.
oh, this
yeah.
is one of my favorite
You
things.
had like 30 songs you could put on there.
Yeah, and like they had those websites like freeipods.com where it was basically a pyramid scheme. I did it 3 times over. I got 3 iPods because I would get people to sign up for me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I stole my mom's credit card to start it, like, but I canceled before she got charged. But you needed a credit card to like start it, and so
Yeah.
then I would just convince people. That was one of the rules I broke on LiveJournal. I spammed, but because people liked me, they would like do it. But that was one of the things I broke. The other rule I broke on LiveJournal was so this is horrible. I impersonated a girl I did not know. I had not met. I only knew her on the internet.
Okay.
But I decided I didn't like her. So and her mom had like died, and like I like created a LiveJournal pretending to be her and just writing some of the most vile shit I've probably ever. This was after I got sent away, by the way, so I was a little more bitter. Before I got sent away, I was just like, oh, whatever. But like when I got back, I was a little meaner,
You had a whole persona. Like you went full heel when you came back.
Yeah, and my LiveJournal at that point, it ended up getting deleted. I tried to start a new one. It's still there, but I like barely did anything because then I went to college and I was like,
You grew out of being a cock job.
yeah. My new one was
She's
called.
the penis.
Did you have
a career.
self-reflection? You were like, what am I doing? And you're just like, I don't have time for this.
It was mostly like meth, and then I don't have time for this, and like, I have a boyfriend now.
So if it
and
weren't for drugs, you would have kept being cock job.
I would have kept being an asshole on the internet.
Meth really stole something special from the world. I'm glad.
As it does,
Yeah, they say don't do drugs. They really fucking mean it, man. Like that.
Yeah.
We could have had such a different universe.
Well, and so
There's another universe where this shit is still. People are wearing cock job T-shirts.
It's,
There's-
It's called UCOCKJoB.
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
it's
you
an
had to brand
insult.
it, so
Yeah, cock job. Okay.
well, because they're like you cock job. That means I'm the cock job, so that's why it's a cock job T-shirt.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha. Okay. I
Hashtag
see.
cock job. Hashtag you cock job. Yeah,
This
you
is
would
why
have
I'm
been.
not successful now.
Would have had Instagram. Like, you would have been all over the world.
When you know what's fucked up, so that the live journal I made about that girl,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is insane. So we're jumping all over the place, but
let's go with this part for now.
I moved to New York when I was 17, and I was working at this place in Union Square that's not there anymore. I've seen it transform to so many different things, but like when I was
lading up this story.
when I was working there, it was a tea store, okay, where they had a DJ.
Who I had told to go fuck himself 12 years ago.
And I was outside giving away samples, and my friend, thank God he was there. He was standing there with me at the time, talking to me, and the girl I had made that live journal about, I knew she lived on the East Coast. I think she lived like in upstate New York. I swear to God, she walked up to, and I looked at her, and she looked at me, and I like gave her a sample. My friend was just yapping at me, and I was like, holy shit. I never thought I'd have to look you in the actual eyes. Like, and she looked at me, and I was like, you know, like, oh, and I'm like giving away tea. Like, I'm like, how pathetic. I passed her one other time in the street before, and then like that was it. But you know,
Did you
I
apologize to her,
No.
or you guys just
No,
made
we-
eye
we
contact?
made eye
and didn't
contact.
Acknowledge it.
and the only reason I
Did
knew
you
it was
update
her.
the blog after?
No, because it got deleted. But the only reason I knew it was her because she did that thing that some women do with their eyebrows that I absolutely can't stand, where they give them an entirely new shape. They like pluck the top and around, and they turn into some weird squiggly line. And I'm like, all you're doing is fucking your face up, and you look stupid, you know. And so that was one of the reasons I hated her, which is ridiculous. Now I'm like, God, I was
You were
just
a
so.
teenager, though. That's
I
why-
know, I was just so mean for no reason.
That's what,
Like,
that's
you
what
were a
teenage girls
bully.
did back then.
I was a little bit of a bully, but I
mean girl.
also, but I was an advocate for the underdog, like in my actual personal life, like. You know, the unpopular kid at school, all the popular girls would make fun of him, and I would make fun of them. You
Right.
know,
And then you
So
would
you were a
tell
hero
them
in
to
your
go
eyes.
kill themselves.
Yes, correct.
On the internet
Yeah.
after that.
You were the hero. You were the one like,
I was
no,
the
I'm
hero.
a good person.
I was the vigilante, but I was
Yeah.
also the villain.
You were the punisher of women's feelings.
I was Two-Face.
No, I'm just a bad person.
I'm just a bad person.
You don't even pretend. No, I was a Batman villain.
I mean, I
that's
pulled
all.
a knife on a girl just because I thought she would like post these pictures on the internet where she would hide her face, and I thought she was like a poser because I was like, "You're ugly."
Where would you post them back then?
So
So
back
you pulled
then,
a knife on a
I
girl?
pulled a knife on her
that
at
was
a
ugly?
party.
Sorry, this
I pulled a knife
just
on her at a
need
party.
to reestablish the facts. Because every sentence Katharyn says, I just am like, are we hearing the same words coming out of your mouth?
Yeah, I was mean because I was like, you are essentially catfishing. There was another word for it back then.
Yeah, where was she posting these pictures?
So, okay, so this kind of leads back to where we were. Before Facebook and MySpace, before Friendster, there were very specific websites, profile websites, right? And a lot of times they were for scene kids, you know, like the emo kid, like the hardcore kids. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like there was one called Face the Jury where everybody was on it. You could only post 3 photos and people essentially rate you, kind of like hot or not. But then there were ones where you could put more of a profile, Makeout Club and lipstickparty.com. So she would put it on like Lipstick Party and on her live journal, and I was like, and then I guess like a friend of mine met her on the internet and then fucked her, and he was like, yeah, she's ugly and she's fat, and I was like, oh, so she's a poser. And so then I just like went in on her because I was like, she'd like, you know, heighten up the contrast. I'm not saying any of this was right. I'm just explaining to you what my
it's
logic
what
was.
a lot of people, well, not to the professional extent you did, but this either happened to a lot of people or they did this thing to people. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're not alone in that. And I mean,
And I just thought she was stupid. And I was like, you just pretend to like cool stuff to be cool. Like, you're not cool. Don't think you're cool. You know, I just was horrible. So, and I wasn't really around her that much, but we were at a party one time at like this house in Natomas. And I saw her and I was like, I'm just going to go scare her. And I did.
how big a knife was it?
It was this.
Like a pocket knife that just flips out? Or?
No, don't remind me of the butterfly knife someone stole from me.
That's not what I meant. I didn't
But
like the.
no, it was this knife. I had this boyfriend. He gave it to me. It was kind of cool because it didn't look like a knife. It was sort of like shaped like a weird medallion, but if you opened it up, it was actually quite a large blade.
Yeah.
So it's like I would wear it around my neck because it just looked like a necklace. But then when I felt like it,
You
You
could.
could go. Phew.
I held that knife to
full on
somebody's
Wakanda.
face more than once.
But
More
that's
than
only-
once,
That was only
okay.
to make them
Then it
come.
got stolen, which was
I think
probably
we all
better.
skipped over what I said.
I didn't hear what you said.
That's only to make them come. So,
That was pretty
All
good.
right.
Worth going back for.
so you would pull knives on people. This is all from your internet persona.
Yeah, well, no, but
basically.
I mean, no. I always,
It's,
I
you
was who
build-
I was
Right,
that
right.
person.
But it was building up to this legend that you became
that I am
online.
today.
Because and people are writing you letters and things like that. Then
Yeah.
that's a persona. We're gonna lead to the second part later because this part
We're
is
knuckle deep in the
more
internet
here.
now.
Yeah, I mean this is a whole thing you had, a whole past you had that people don't realize how it's going to affect them later on. Like you had
You're
to
right.
see these people as an because they didn't kill them, take your advice and kill
Yeah.
themselves. And you saw them in a whole different side of the country.
Yeah.
In person.
Yeah.
Luckily, they weren't crazy. They had their lives together.
I
They
mean,
didn't
she
have-
looked at me.
They didn't have the other half of that medallion and then
Right.
stab
Yeah.
you.
She looked at me in a way where I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like, and
She
like,
thought about taking that sample and just.
when I'll be honest, I mean, I could have taken her. That's not the point, though. You know, like,
What I also like about this story, though, is that you were talking shit online, and then she sees you in like the lowliest customer
that's what I
service
mean.
role
That's what I mean.
possible.
And
All
like,
stuff
I
that
just
happened.
happened to be talking to like my very hot, cool friend, you know, like, and I look hot and cool too. So I was like, you can fuck with me now. Like, if she had, I probably would have apologized to her because I learned meth taught me a lot. And like, and you know,
How are
I,
we not just.
and I just like, I was like,
What is happening?
I think I feel bad about how horrible I was to some people because, like, I guess I do have empathy. Like, look, I hate people, but I don't need to tell them to die. Like, they're either going to do it themselves or not.
That's what happened after
just-
she finished
You just
puberty.
if you just tell them they're not going to do it, you got to gently lead them. Convince
You got
them
to
it's
give them
not
the
worth-
Kool-Aid, bring them into your basement and sex traffic them.
Think it's their idea. So-
I feel like the real trick is to tell them not to kill themselves, and it'll make them kill themselves.
That's what you should have done with the pizza.
I know.
So another, because you look at the Law and Order episodes where it happened, like where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, or that woman who told someone to kill himself and
Yeah.
he did, and she
Yeah.
had to go to jail.
Yeah.
So maybe, like you're saying, meth did save you, or something like that.
Yeah, I
that
mean-
could have been you, where it's like you said that, and then they fucking did it, and you're,
Yeah.
like, you cock job goes down. You could have been the first Me Too, where, but for something, I wouldn't say way worse, but you were telling people to kill themselves. That could have been you that happened to.
Right. And I
could
mean,
be in
I don't
jail
know.
right now.
I think, like, I also just,
If it weren't for meth.
There would also be a movie written about her, though. Just like a 15-year-old telling people to kill themselves
So
and
it was
causing a mass
16
suicide.
years ago. You're getting out of jail right now.
yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
God.
coming out into the real
But
world.
I'm trying to remember the timeline, like, because I think, you know, I was very angry after I got back from being sent away. But I also think ultimately, once I kind of settled into what I felt like I got out of that, I was like, I don't need to be horrible to people. Like, this world is horrible enough. Like,
You
like,
just came back full of ennui. Just
yeah, I was kind of like, you know, I was angry for a bit, so I was still being terrible on the internet. But then I sort of once I kind of mellowed out, and I was like, you know what? I mean, this place is terrible.
yeah. You went
Try
in
to be kind to people.
You went in an American internet bully, came out a French poet. That's
Yeah,
it's, like,
yeah.
it's not worth it. Smoke
Yeah.
cigarettes like this.
Kind of. So now I just try to be nice to everybody. You know, even if I'm like, I fucking hate that person. Like,
I just thought we were friends. You said you were bad at lying to people.
well, no, it's just, it's
No, I'm
weird.
joking.
Yeah, I don't know. I try to interact with people on their terms instead of my own. Because if it were my own, I wouldn't talk to anybody. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
So, not even you. No, I'm kidding.
Oh God, my life would be so much better if that happened, though. Can you?
You
start
never
doing
had
that?
any situations with drugs like that, right?
No.
I haven't either.
I
No
just
fun.
Did a little bit of.
Just never had.
I did ecstasy. I did shrooms. Weed.
I did mushrooms and weeds, but I just never. Growing up, I never knew coke people. So people who did coke or anything.
I did
like that.
meth before I did coke.
Yeah, meth wasn't really prevalent when I was a kid. Mainly
Or is
it was
that
just
true?
weed was still considered a gateway drug when I was a teenager. So that's like if you do smoke marijuana, you're gonna end up doing pills.
I mean, how old are you?
I'm 40.
Okay. I mean, it was still a gateway drug when I was a teenager.
Right, but
I
it
know.
was like considered really bad. Like they were you would still fucking there's still people in jail from marijuana charges from back then.
Right.
Because it was like it's just worse than anything. So and later on, like when my little brother was in high school, that's when it was more like pills. So
Big fan. Pills. Big. I almost got a pill tattooed behind my ear. That's how much I like pills.
I would have thought you just like
Which pill?
It was just gonna be like a Dr. Mario type pill.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I thought you were gonna name brand it, just like Oxy, sponsored by.
I just couldn't pick a favorite. You know, that's like trying to a Sophie's choice. You know.
Yeah, that would have been a good one too, because you can just play that one off. It was just a Dr. Mario pill.
Yeah.
Like, no, I just like video games. Wrong song. But.
Wrong game. I haven't made you play that at my house.
No.
Oh.
No, yeah, we did. But
Yeah.
I didn't play that growing
You know
up.
what?
so
I think video games is why I didn't do drugs as much, because they are still kind of addictive. That's what we would do. Like even the girls I hung out with would like still kind of play video games and stuff.
Yeah, I found that. I mean, I didn't dislike video games, but I was like, this is juvenile. Like, I could go out and have some real fun. Like,
and tell people to kill themselves.
Yeah, because we would play Mario Kart.
Yeah,
you know,
one.
That was fairly new.
When I would get drunk, that was the other thing I was doing on the internet. So, like, when I got back,
that's what we would do.
Like, before I got sent away, I was hanging out with an older crowd. I had one friend my age who I was also horrible to. I remember writing a live journal post about how, not that I remember this, but I found it and I read it recently because they were using it. When I got sent away, they used it as like evidence that I had lied about my drug use. This was like a multi-layered experience. Because when I got to the first place, I didn't know how much information they knew.
Okay.
So I started with lies. And then they delivered me evidence that I had written in my live journal as proof that I was lying. So I was like, fuck, I gotta tell the truth.
Yeah.
But
back to bite you, like we said.
Yeah. So like
the big bird.
My friend Barbara was my age, and I sometimes feel bad. I wonder how much.
This was 15, 16, right?
She was 15 too, and I sometimes wonder how much I influenced the decision she ended up making with her life. Not like it's again free will, but like I remember I wrote this like post about how I like ripped her off. Like I sold her like $10 worth of weed for like $30 or something, and like
you're just admitting to your crimes online.
Yeah, no, I was, and you know,
so transparent.
Yeah, and like. So my friend Danielle, who was the older friend, she hated Barbara. She thought Barbara was a little poser, and Barbara was a little poser.
This is why you don't like posers. All right.
Poser was such a mean word.
I know.
Back in the, and now it's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck what you think.
I know. Well, but I don't even know what kids do anymore. You know what I mean?
I don't
like,
care. Yeah.
So
I hope so.
I don't know. They like their own porno.
well, you always think you're gonna be
concerned.
in touch with like what's happening, and like you're not.
My
Like,
friend's
I have
kid,
no clue.
My friend's kid, who's a nerd, by the way, just got suspended for fucking his girlfriend in the woods behind school. So, yeah,
nerds be fucking.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, they're all up. It's great. Now, what a time to be alive.
But like Barbara, you know, Danielle like let Barbara come hang out one night, right? So then Barbara, I think to overcompensate, like so, one of the girls, like one of the older girls, she'd go steal alcohol, like tequila from a store or whatever, and then we would like drink it. So one night, this night that Barbara got to come one time, you know, and hang out, she was drinking this tequila like a monster, I think to impress
The older
Danielle.
girls.
Because she knew Danielle didn't like her. She knew that Danielle, I think, had said to her, I hope she takes like one of her like earrings and like, oh, that's what happened. She was like trying to cut herself with her earring back in our music appreciation class. And Danielle saw that and was like, fuck this girl. And I was like, she's my friend. But Barbara was very like, you know, that person.
Yeah.
She had long, beautiful blonde hair. Basically, we went to a drug dealer's house and she ended up throwing up all over his table.
Oh, what a dick
And
move.
I had to like take her outside and go, Barbara, you fucked up. Fuck. Like this. So Danielle hated Barbara. I don't know how I got on this. I forgot.
You were worried about what happened to Barbara, her life choices.
Oh, because Barbara then, you know, I think started becoming more and more extreme. And then one day she cut off all of her hair, dyed it black to look like Brody from the Distillers. You know, like she was like married to what's his face from Rancid. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and so I think she started becoming more extreme to be cool.
Okay.
You know, and then when I got sent away, when I came back, Barbara was like full on punk rock, dating like a 25-year-old.
She found herself.
She ended up becoming a heroin addict later in life, you know. And like, I don't know. Again, I think part of it was like, I'm like, was it because I was mean to you about like not being cool enough or hardcore enough or, you know, like what starts you.
Lots of things.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Did
but
she
like,
die? What happened to her?
Incidentally, I found out she re-enrolled, like went to college, I guess like at 25, and I think got accepted to like a good school, like later than everybody, but you know, she had to like get
She
clean.
figured it out. Yeah.
But I mean,
good for her.
she went down a really weird path and had parents who didn't give a shit about her and had, you know,
Yeah, now she
expendable
owns a
income.
mayonnaise company in the Bronx. So.
Yeah, right. So Barbara, we used to call her Narbra because she would drive so fast. So way later.
We gotta end on one of these sex too. So let's go with Narbra. Why the fuck is Narbra a thing? That makes no sense to me.
Narbra, like gnarly. Well, because okay,
Oh, with
so
a G. I get it, yeah.
later in life,
This is her sober, by the way. This is
Narbra, she
her
would drive. She was a
rambling.
gnarly driver.
yeah, well, like late. So after meth for me, so Barbara wasn't around for the meth thing.
Oh, so
and
she went up to you.
she went up to me, yeah. But
You
so
were meth, she was heroin.
Call me a poser.
Basically, I got sent away. Then I went to college, and then I was going back to California. Like, you know, if winter break was like a month, I'd go for the month, you know? And so I'd see all my old friends, like a lot of the people I used to do meth with, and, you know, we'd do drugs. But at this point, Narbra was like really dabbling with heroin, but she would drive us everywhere. She was the only one who had a car. We'd get fucked up. She'd drive us everywhere, but she's like on heroin.
By the way, dabbling
keeps
with
nodding off.
heroin is such
I mean,
a
she's like smoking
specific-
heroin.
Yeah,
Okay.
You
she's
know,
starting
with,
to get into it,
with
yeah.
her boyfriend at the time, who we all hated. So she's fucking my friend Brendan, but she's dating a guy named Justin Bartles, which would have made her last name Barbara Bartles, which is so good. But yeah, I have Polaroids of all these people if you want to see them. Like, she was like sickly and covered in bruises, but like drove me to get this tattoo I had, you know, on my body of the first time I was on mushrooms with all of my friends who
Opposed
were in
to
the car.
other tattoos you have, not
lot
on
of-
your body.
Oh, speed bump.
You know,
She pointed at her
what if I
torso.
just walk? What if I just walk out? Like,
This is what you meant by
You would
body.
finally
you finally find peace. And
That's so great. I love that Misha.
so
I don't
yeah,
give a shit.
I loved it. It was great.
so yeah, Barbara. That's Barbara. So I think
I'm
she's
just
fine
trying
now.
to get her to focus on one topic, and I feel like
Well,
she will
steer
just
me back.
continue.
No, we're okay.
She'll
So that's
continue
why she's called
talking
Narbra.
without stopping.
That was one of the people you posed her into. You bullied her into heroin, basically. Maybe.
Yeah, I wonder about it.
Is that why you were so like these people made their own choices in the last episode?
No, I'm like that because of I think about my past and
Oh,
like that. The only thing I've ever had control over is what I choose to do. So then I'm like, how can you be like? I do believe in emotional manipulation. I think like you know you can fall under that spell.
Oh, so you've had parents.
Yeah.
Right.
I've also been sent away to a place where, like, after unpacking that psychological trauma I went through, I'm like, oh, I see what happened here. And that's, you know, it was like kind of like a crash course into learning, oh, yeah, this is like, the world is horrible. People are horrible. They'll do whatever they need to do
Right.
to get to a.
We'll get into that
Yeah.
situation into another episode. So this one, we really got into your whole internet backstory, which I had no idea.
Me
that
neither.
you were talking about.
I've
You
had
never
so
wrote
many
me back.
conversations.
I'm still upset about that.
I never wrote anybody back.
It's up to kill, tell him to kill
I
himself.
sometimes
How do you
shout
have
him
this
out.
story in your back pocket? We've had so many conversations about the
I don't
same
know.
She was saving it
5
for this.
topics, and
Oh, you know why? Because I asked her to go back to something. That's why. She was gonna breeze right over this. So that's interesting. You were internet famous before internet
I mean,
fame
a
was
little-
really a thing.
Yeah, like only like 500 people.
Yeah, but it would have grown.
I
It
think the
would've
I
grown.
mean, you were
takeaway.
getting. I mean, this was before YouTube. This was before
Yeah.
all that shit. This was before, like you had to really grassroots it. Like you had this and like somethingawful.com. So
Yeah, something awful.
Once you were 18, you would have been blogging with them.
Yeah.
It would have been amazing.
And like, I don't know, I did some, like, there was like a group on LiveJournal called Indie Nudes, right?
Mhm.
And, you know, they liked it because it was like locked and they would all look at naked pictures of each other. But I was like, I'm going to shut it down. Actually, this is really sort of
You got
funny.
it shut down.
I got it shut down.
This bullying story.
I got it shut down with another guy because I was like, okay, a lot of you are underage, so gross. And and I was like, and you don't deserve happiness. So I was like, I got it shut down. And when I got it shut down, I like celebrated it on my own live journal. Like, do you remember Pwned?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I did a picture of me and I was just like pwned, like I was like ha ha ha, gotcha.
Now you would be a fucking hero for that, but that was child porn they're putting up there.
Yeah,
so.
no, but so this is a sort of interesting thing about this internet thing. So
and they had to put it up like that because you couldn't text each other pictures of yourself then either.
Right, yeah,
So.
and
You
so
couldn't take a picture of your dick yet. You had to post it online. Wait
It was
for the right
fun.
person to see it.
the guy I
You
got
really
it shut it
wanted
down
someone to
with. I
see you
met
naked
him
at that point.
finally from the internet once. He made flan at my house, left the dish in my broiler. It rotted. It's the grossest thing I've ever seen. Died of a brain tumor a few years later.
We're crossing you.
Weird stuff, right? I know.
So, maybe that's why I forgot because that tumor was on that part of his brain.
But this is
So how did you get it shut down?
I reported it. I sent like evidence. I just, did I guess what any normal
She said
person
there's
would
nudes
do.
of younger age people,
Yeah.
and they're like, we can't have that.
Yeah.
So,
But I've only ever met one person from Tinder because I tried it and then I was like, this is not for me.
okay.
Right. But I met this guy and we kind of like hit it off because we both were really into music and like, romanticizing horse shit. And like, so I was like, oh my God, and like we met in the park one day. He actually came to a mic he thought I would be at. And then I was like, I'm in this park and whatever. And he was cute enough and blah, blah, blah. So whatever. We start this like pretty quick romance, which ends here. Basically, he went out of town. I had gone with him to like the Hamptons one time, but then he goes out of town and he was like, I'm going to send one of my friends who you met at the Hamptons and my other friend, Madge, to meet you at your show. And what we discovered was Madge knew me from the internet. From when I was on the internet on LiveJournal. He was like, I fucking know you. And I was like, oh my God. And he was like, you never knew me, but I loved you and blah, blah, blah. So then Madge and I ended up getting a bunch of blow, going to some dance party in Brooklyn. I was like, we are fast friends. I'm like, you're a Scorpio. I'm a Capricorn. This is amazing. And he was like, yeah, you were a fucking vicious bitch. And I was like, yeah. And so I let Madge sleep in my bed next to me, no touching. And the other guy found out about it. And we like never saw each other again. But Madge and I are now friends.
Aw.
Yeah. Because he knew me from the internet.
Ended in a nice.
God, I had no
Full
clue
circle.
we would end full circle.
Yeah.
You brought it back.
I'm good at
Trying
that.
to steer it that way. It finally got there. Awesome. UCOCKJoB, making friends. Guys, if you know you're any old UCOCKJoB stories,
Yeah,
send
send
them
it to us.
I've been, we've learned a lot. Don't lie. All comes back to you.
And if someone makes fun of you on the internet, they're probably giving out free samples in Union Square.
So don't take them too seriously.
Don't take it too seriously. It's just the internet,
Gettsbetter.org.
guys.
It gets better.
Except for people with brain tumors and heroin.
well,
No, it gets better. It's about
Bob had to
bullying,
die.
so, yeah.
I know.
He didn't die from bullying. He
Yeah.
died from.
And I'm even friends with some of the people that I knew on LiveJournal then. Like one of my very good friends, he's dating like a very high-end fashion designer now. He was like, you knew me when I wasn't gay. And I was like, I know, it's crazy.
Put a good bow on that one.
Yeah.
Let's reopen that package. All right, guys. I've been Mike Suarez. Follow me at Mike B. Suarez on Instagram.
I've been Misha Han. Follow me at Hi Misha Han on Instagram and Twitter.
I think we know who the fuck I am at this point.
UCOCKJob.
But no, I'm
Bring it back on Instagram.
I'm ew girl, you nasty.
I know.
EWGIRLYOU nasty.
If we can start it.
I could